My name is Harold Thomas. I'd like to speak about this art collection that's viewing at the Sydney Opera House. It's a great privilege to be at the greatest building in Australia. My world is about art, and I've been painting since I was a young lad. I felt that there's something that I need to do is to express myself in art. And art is a story of my life. The collection here reflects back to more than 50 years when I studied at the South Australian School of Art. There was modern art expression. I learned as much as I could for the 4 years I studied. Whilst I was studying at the art school, I became familiar with the great modern artists of America and Europe. In particular, the famous Andy Warhol. He brought attention to all artists at the time, a new way of looking at art. Before Andy, there was people like Rothko, Pollock, Motherwell. And before them were people like Matisse and Mondrian that lived in Europe. I felt that my first experience of understanding art was through the lens and eyes of those great famous modern artists. And I've enjoyed them all my life, and I intend to continue to paint the way I want, understanding that the great art that I have comes from them. This exhibition talks about a piece of artwork that I did when I was 24 years old, one or 2 years after I left art school. And that image was the design of the Aboriginal flag. It is now called the Australian Aboriginal flag. That is now hanging on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And what a privilege it is to have one of your pieces flying there. I mean, who would want that? Any artist in this world would just want that experience. And that experience is about what you do and what you choose and how you paint the images that you want. As a modernist, I found that painting abstract art was a sure way of conceptualizing things that you want to do immediately. Even though I was a painter of realism and portraits and landscapes, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and watercolors, but what was growing more in me, it was to simplify things and do art that you can be expressive far more quickly and with brighter colors and all sorts of ways of perfecting your view of yourself. Because that's the great Pollock said, any artist of concern or matter paints himself or herself. You paint yourself, so in other words, the art you see from an artist is telling the story about himself or herself. So it tells you an insight into the individual, no matter how old you are or young, because art is that. My exhibition here reflects greatly on the modern abstract hard edge style of art. It is the style of art that I chose to do for the 50+1 collection, which reminisces the Aboriginal flag design image. It's an abstract hard edge piece of work. So as an artist, I do feel strongly about how you picture images that it's an awkward thing that you're painting yourself. You know, it's a world that artists have to come with. Even though if you're a musician or a poet or a writer or a playwright, a sculptor, it doesn't matter. You're doing yourself in the modern sense, as I understand. So my exhibition is a long journey of more than 50 years, that comes from more than 50 years, even though it's taken me two to 3 years to get this collection of 50 plus 1. And the plus 1 image is a special image that was created specifically for the government. It's called Democracy. It is on the cover of the catalogue. What I would like to say finally is that I hope you enjoy this art exhibition, which is a very deeply personal exhibition that stems from the beginning of my life. And I'm bringing the curiosity of who you are to the canvas. And I hope you all enjoy it immensely, as I've enjoyed immensely the artwork I've done for more than 50 years. Thank you for coming.